Yeah, I think your state's on the list.
When you buy the Young Israel, then I'll come back.
Oh.
By the way,
Okay, let's
Jesse,
go.
Soon they're going to be paid.
anybody who
someone
works
to
in
take it, don't
healthcare,
worry.
they made a rule that they have to pay you even if you test positive 2 times, 3 times for COVID, you get the COVID pay.
Not
Or
if
if
you
you're
go to one of the
automatically
states on the list,
quarantined.
though. Not if you go to one of the states on the list, then they don't pay you jack.
Doesn't say
Okay,
that.
this is getting serious.
It does. I
But
read
if
it
you-
yesterday.
All right,
Go
let's
to
If you're
go.
a city or a state employee and you go to one
How
of those
about we
16
start
states,
this year?
you get nothing.
Not too serious.
After Meyer, we
March
should have
let's start.
Okay, let's go. So
Where's Devi Bald? I don't care. Come on already.
He'll be
she got
back. He'll
married
be back.
already.
Tonight's the last night Shabbbos. I'll be back tomorrow.
She got married already. What is this? This is unacceptable.
Yeah, it's part of the religion is to have Shabbat brachas, Shimon.
Aaron, Reb Aaron, you do me a favor. It's not part of the religion. It's a chumrah thing.
It's not even a chumrah. It's not part of the religion, and it's not a chumrah.
the problem is in South Bend they don't have 7 restaurants to have 7 Shabbat brachos. That's the problem.
Taka.
They also probably don't have panim chadashos. They don't have enough people.
Yeah, I
Also-
hear that. Unless you allow animals to be.
Yeah, do cows count? We got
Okay.
plenty
Or
of
they
time.
All right, let's go. Fine. Okay, so let's pick it up with the Chazorah, right? So do we have to say one has to be titled from Tuma immediately, right? Meaning Tefillah B'zman of Mitzvah. And the Mishnah said a guy can't be told to put out a fire on Shabbos. We're going to continue with a lot of Amir al-Nochi tonight. A guy doesn't have to be told to stop putting out the fire, but a child does have to be told, right? And then the Gemara says you can announce that whoever comes to put out the fire won't lose. You can't say you're going to pay them, but you can say whoever comes to put out the fire won't lose. And then we had the story with Rabbi Yosef ben Simai, who didn't listen to the Mishnah and the rain put out his fire. And then the Gemara says you're required to tell a kid not to eat treif. Then the Mishnah says putting a utensil over fire, an excrement, and a scorpion. Rabbi Yehuda felt, Rabbi Yehuda's opinion was that carbon chatas, you would have to bring a carbon chatas if you trap the scorpion. And then we had the story of how Rav Avin understood the Mishnah, and then we continued, and then removing a graf sharei, and then killing animals that are dangerous on Shabbos. And then we said, okay, that's what we're up to. So Tana Rabbanan, we are page 242, which is Kuf Chaf Aleph Amud Beis, 4 wide lines down, last word on the line. Tana Rabbanan. Go shut. Tana Rabbanan. Yeah, if somebody has snakes and scorpions that come to him, Hargon, if he killed them, this is a heavy hashkafic Gemara right here. Right? So snakes and scorpions came. Hargon, if you killed them, Hargon, and if you killed them, then it's known that they were meant to be killed by you. And Rashi says, you're a tzaddik. You're a tzaddik, but it was considered, what is it? But not basher. There's another word for it. Divine providence, maybe? That you were supposed to be the guy that had the schus of killing these animals so that they don't damage anybody. Loy hargon, but if you didn't kill them,
Where are you starting from?
turn her up on 4 wide lines down. I'm on the right daf, right? Yeah.
Yes,
4
you are.
wide
You're in the right spot. Yes.
4 wide lines down on Kuf Chaf Aleph Amud Beis.
Didn't we have a Gemara like this in Brachas about the heel or something? The snake?
What? That he put the heel down on top of the thing and they died. That's what you're talking
Something
about?
about a snake, I think.
Yeah. We did have that. But that was because he was so chashuv, the snakes got damaged from him. But anyways, so Hargon, v'yeduash and his damalala Hargon. If he killed them, so then it's known that that's what it was. He had the schus of killing them. Loy Hargon, v'yeduash and his damalala Hargon, v'nasal neis min hashemayim. If he didn't kill them, then we know that they were supposed to kill him, and he had a neis min hashemayim that they didn't kill him. Okay. That's only where the snakes were hissing at him, meaning they were showing that they wanted to attack him. But if they were just moving around and he didn't kill them, that does not mean that he was going to they were going to kill him. Okay. So one time, one of these, it doesn't say what it is, right? But something fell in the bismerish, one of these types of dangerous bugs or animals, and a nivasi echad v'hargo, Amar nivasi echad v'hargo, and one nivasi got up and killed it. Amar Rebbe pagabay k'yaitzabai. Something similar to the bug or the animal was touched by something similar to it. What does that mean? Did he, when he meant pagabay k'yaitzabai, was that something good or was that something bad? Was that supposed to happen? Was that not supposed to happen? Yeah, fine. Siboilu, sorry, Toshima. The Rav Abba bar Rav Chia bar Abba, Rav Zera Havayasri Akilas the Rav Yanai. They were sitting in the what do you call it? How do you touch a kill again? Like a tent? How do you touch it?
Porch.
Porch. Okay, in a porch, the Rav Yanai. Nafik Milsa Binayu. And they were discussing something. Something came out from between them. Are you allowed to kill snakes and scorpions on Shabbos? I kill wasps, right? So if I kill a wasp, so kol sheken, I'm going to kill a snake and a scorpion. So his answer though, no, maybe you're only allowed to kill it if it's the way you normally walk, meaning you're not doing anything that shows that you're killing it. Meaning, if you see a snake or a scorpion as you're walking down the street, you could continue your walk, and that's how you kill it. But you can't go out of your way to kill it or stomp your foot or anything like that. Maybe that's what he meant. If you have spit, you have saliva, and it's on the cement, so you're allowed to walk over it, even though that might be a din of plowing, right? Because or shmearing, really, Rashi says shmearing, right? Or ashwiye gumais, which is more of a baina issue, well, depending where it is, right? But either way, you're allowed to step on the saliva, lefi tumai, meaning as you're regularly walking. And Rav Sheshes says the snake, you could also step on it according to just the regular way you walk. Fine.
Excuse me, Yaakov, I'm sorry. I didn't even till now. So you're walking the street Shabbos, so you have to watch how you walk on the break and the sidewalk between the two pieces that has, the way they set it. In case you're going to put,
there might be something in there.
You might step on a piece of paper in there or whatever it is, a cigarette. So you're plowing, it's like, what?
No, so that's what we're saying. You're allowed to. Lefi Tuma is allowed. Right?
Okay.
Lefi Tuma, it's allowed. It's only not Lefi Tuma that's not allowed. Right? If you see it.
Lefi Tuma is only it's a mazik. It doesn't seem like Rashi seems to imply that it's only true because it's a derabanan according to Rabbi Yehuda. Dover Shein Miskaven is a derabanan according to Rabbi Yehuda. Therefore, in a case of mazik, we're going to allow it. But in general, his question still would stand.
What do you mean? It's in general.
We should worry about being mashvi gumas. In a case where you have to worry about being mashvi gumas, it's still a derabanan. Dover Shein Miskaven.
Well, I mean, Rashi says the reason why it's mutter is because it's miyas. So since it's miyas,
or mazik, it depends on the case.
Mazik or miyas.
But if you didn't have a scenario like that, stand to walk around and be mashvi gumas, even if Dover Shein Miskaven, it's going to be derabanan.
So then, how do you ever walk on dirt?
That's the question, right? That's what I'm saying. It's still a question.
What?
That's the question he was asking. I'm assuming.
No, and a chanami. But that's the reason why you're allowed to walk on dirt is because you have no idea if there's a snake there or there's not, or there's even a shuya gumbas going to be going on there. So therefore, it's allowed. Right?
Let's say you know that there is.
This is where you do see it, right? And you have kavanah to step on it purposely. Still we're allowing it. Right?
But if you know it's probably going to come about by just walking around it, you're going to be
maybe you're right. Maybe you wouldn't be able to walk in a place. That's what he's saying, not to run in grass. Right?
Okay, so the taka are scenarios where we should be a little more careful.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Fine. So Abba Bar Master Dehu Abba Bar Menyume, right? We're 5 lines up from the bottom. Abba Maski Bey the Beiresh Galusa Zuzi, right? So he had lent the Reish Galusa money, I sue, and they came there, Kamatzarli, and they were mitzayiring it. Be mitzayir him, causing him pain, because they wanted to be paid back. So Habashadi Roika, there was some saliva there on the floor. Amalu Reish Galusa, I sue mana safifu alav it. Go bring a kli and cover over the saliva because it's disgusting. Amalahu, so he told them back, he told the Reish Galusa, you don't need it. Right? Because why? Why don't you need to cover it? Because I'm Rabbi Yehuda, right? Saliva, you're allowed to step over it lefituma. So Amr Lahu, so who he said to them, he said to his cronies who were there pressuring this guy to pay back, and he said to them, this guy's a Talmud Chacham, Shavku, leave him alone. Right? So you see that we go with this psak, and then that saved him from paying back what he owed, at least at that time, at that point. Fine. Now we have a total new subject. Pamuta Shabes Rebbe. The pamutos is the candlestick holders, right? Shabes Rebbe. Mutal l'tatal b'Shabbos. It's not a question; it's a statement. It's mutal l'tatal b'Shabbos. The pamutos, the candlesticks that when Rebbe's house you're allowed to take on Shabbos. Does that? Is it talking about candlesticks that are small that you could take it in one hand, or is it a big one that you could take it in two hands? They are like your father's house, which Rashi says is katanos, right? But if they're large, and you would not be able to take them because they're not meant to be moved, and if they're not meant to be moved, then therefore they're going to be muktza. Right? The krainos of Beis Rebbe, you're allowed to take them on Shabbos. Krainos is like, how do you say it?
Wagon.
What a wagon, a current, right? To the wagon, a bench, or whatever it is, right? So they're also allowed to be taken on Shabbos. Are these wagons big enough for one person to move it, or is it even two? So it's like the ones of your father's house, which this is machloik is what that means. Is that talking about big ones or small ones, right? Now we just bring another example having nothing to do with the previous Gemara, that Rebbe Chanina, Rav Abba Bar Kahana, was matir of Chanina in Beis Rebbe lishtes yayin b'krayna shel nachri, to drink wine, right? That came in the wagons of a guy, meaning the delivery, right? Wine, we paskin that wine needs two seals, right? So that's why, right? Because of Yayin Nesach. But he held that the wine delivery only needs one seal. I don't know if it's because he holds like Rabbi Eliezer, who disagreed with the way we paskin. He holds you only need one seal. Or is it because he's scared of the Bein Nasiya, which is Rebbe? Rebbe was the Bein Nasiya. So the guy who was delivering it would be scared, so therefore one seal is enough. Really, you need two seals, but because of the extra fear of making sure that he treats the Nasi correctly, so maybe there he would say you only need one seal. Either way, we paskin that you need two seals on wine. If there's only one seal, then it's a problem. But that's only when the guy is bringing the wine by himself. If there's a yid around, then you only need. If there's a yid around when the guy's there, even if the yid's not there the whole time, then you only need one seal. Obviously, this is talking about wine that's not mavushal. Yeah.
And now you don't have to mention Coronis.
Coronis, yeah, huh? All right. Yeah, Zok the Mishna, yeah. Nachri shehidlik esaner. So a guy that lights a fire, mishtamish loyra Yisrael, a yid is allowed to use the light. Vimbishu Yisrael also, but if he lights the candle on behalf of Yisrael, that's also right. That's the number one Amir La'akum. We discussed this in the shul, right, many times, right? That's the classic Amir La'akum that people are unfortunately nichshel with, is that they allow a guy to turn on the lights. Remember, if the guy turns on the lights for you, you are not allowed to use that light.
So Yaakov, is that a Mir La'akum or is this a Siyas Akum? Like, is there a difference? Like, is it?
There's two different things.
So that's a Siyas Akum or a Mir Akum?
Yeah.
The one
that's not Amira. Amira is the first. Amira is
okay,
well, not the first case. Amira is where we let Vlada go. Yes.
Right. This is Siyas Akum. Okay, fine.
Yeah, this is a separate gezerah. There's two gezerahs. One is that you're not allowed to ask a guy to do anything on Shabbos, and two is you're not allowed to benefit from anything that a guy did for a yid on Shabbos. The second one that we're learning now is something, it's a beferish Mishna, but people just don't know it. People think that a guy does it on their own, then it's fine. And they get the mistake that I think where the mistake comes from is because everybody is busy with, you could hint to a guy. If you hint it to a guy, so they think, well, I could hint to the guy whatever I want. No, it's only specific situations that we allow a hinting of the guy, right? In most, it's it's only if it's going to be an indirect benefit do we allow you to let the guy do something if you hint it, right? But if it's going to be a direct benefit, like a guy coming into the room and turning on the lights, then you're not allowed to. Not only you're not allowed to hint it, you're not even allowed to benefit from it, even if the guy does it on his own, right? Fine. So that's what the Mishna says.
If someone is in a position where he's let's say a mishamshe chayla shesh sakana, he's in a hospital room with a chayla, and the chayla needs a light on, for example, is the shamish allowed to have hana from the light? If a guy puts it on,
I would think so, because it's not what we're going to see, right?
What's he doing in the room? He's helping the chayla, yeah. So how's he going to help the chayla? How is he helping the chayla? He puts on a blindfold. How's he going to help the chayla?
But let's say the chayla is sleeping.
That's mutter. For his own purposes, he wants to.
Let's say the chayla is sleeping and he decides he wants to read the magazine.
Right.
He's still helping the chayla. If he couldn't read the magazine, he wouldn't go there for Shabbos. So.
I hear. All right. It would have to be a kosher magazine, though.
Versteht sich. Without the advertisements.
Without advertisements, right.
I thought it's also to read magazines on Shabbos.
Right, we already said.
What magazine has no advertisements? It wouldn't be a magazine.
Better, you know what we said? Better he should be watching Netflix anyways, right, on Shabbos. Okay, anyway. Fine, so that's the first example. Then the Gemara Mishna brings another example. If the guy fills up water to give to his behema, then the leftover water the Yisrael can use to give to his animal. B'shvil Yisrael also, but if he does it on behalf of Yisrael, then it's also nachri kevesh leirei boy. A guy can make a ramp in order to go off the boat. Yared achar of Yisrael, then the yid can go after him. B'shvil Yisrael, but if he makes the ramp for the Yisrael, it's also. Ma'aser and Gamliel was a kain. Show you b'svina. Yeah.
Is this the stop sign versus crosswalk?
What do you mean?
Because a guy has to stop at a stop sign, so that's for him.
Right.
But a crosswalk you can't use, like on Central Avenue, one of those crosswalks. You make them stop.
Right. But so I think that's mutter because that's the rules of the road, having nothing to do with you specifically.
Yeah, but it's only if someone's on it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But Lamaisa, I think the person can say that. I'm pretty sure the person can say that we'll make them.
Wow.
You know what? You thought that they're machmer?
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't heard.
Yeah. I thought that okay, I'll try and double check.
What's Gershon's case?
He's saying, let's say you want to cross the middle. Let's say you buy a stop sign, you want to cross it. The guy stops his car in order for you to cross. He has to stop at the stop sign anyways, but you cross the middle of the street and you step out on the thing, the guy stopped. Now he's stopping for you, so you're being nene from it. It's also an indirect benefit. That's not a direct. It's also more calm.
There are paiskim that I mean, I don't know what name, but there are paiskim that even if you have a direct benefit, hold it, you can step on the thing to get across the street.
Oh, you're talking about the Phoenix situation.
Yeah.
That's a whole different than Phoenix. In
Phoenix, yeah, but Toronto, different places. When you step off the curb, they have to stop. Yeah.
No, but so in Phoenix, I think it sets off the right when you step near the crosswalk.
There's a sensor. You step on the sensor, and then when
LA
you
has something like that also.
It changes the lock.
Yeah, the LA also has something like that.
I think so. I think the community tried to change. I don't know. There is something to that. Maybe on Shabbos to try not to have it. I don't know.
I hear, yeah, because it sounds like an issue on Shabbos. Anyway, so Ma'aser Gamliel was going to show you buying besvina. They came on a boat. Vasa Nachri Kevesh Leirid Boy, and they made the Nachri made a ramp to go down. V'yardu by Gamliel Zakanim, and the Gamliel Zakanim went off the boat on Shabbos. Yeah, okay. So Zogli one, but Tzricha, you need these cases, all three. Right? There's three cases. There's fire, water, and making a ramp. That's an important rule. A ner for one is a ner for 100. Meaning, one guy makes the ner, and that's it, right? Meaning, it goes for everybody. Nobody. There's maximum amount of benefit from one light. But water, since you only have a limited amount of water, so maybe we have to make a gzeira that he's going to add more water for the Yisrael. And for kevesh, so that's why we need to say no. Even water is okay. You can use it. For kevesh lamali, why do you need a ramp? No, that's just as a precursor to saying over the story with Rabbi Gamliel. Fine.
What's the Kamash Milan of that story, though?
What?
What's the Kamash Milan of that story?
I don't think there is a Kamash Milan.
So they say stories over in the Mishnah?
What?
They are saying story time in the Mishnah?
It seems like we want to show that well, the truth is maybe on the bottom of Amud it'll answer your kasha.
So when it says utzricha, it doesn't really mean utzricha all three. It means utzricha two.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. But then it's what's interesting. This is I thought about this, but I didn't really look into it. Is now what about the other way around? So teach Mayim. Usually the Gemara goes both ways, right? It says this way and this way. What?
Leizu Afsu. Sometimes it's Leizu Afsu.
I know, but it doesn't even discuss it here.
Maybe, but I'm saying a Leizu Afsu is Enochanami. It increases in Chiddush. A Leizu Afsu is not. It goes both ways. It's not only this, but even this case.
Right.
So there's sometimes where it's not a Chiddush both ways. It's just a Leizu Afsu.
Okay, I hear. Okay, but here the Gemara doesn't say it. Okay, fine. To talk about it.
Is this Chiddush of the Maisa about Tchum?
What?
Is the Chiddush of this Maisa Rabbi Gamliel about Tchum Shabbos?
Yeah, but if you say that has nothing to do with the Mishnah at all, right?
That's what it's saying. It doesn't. But he used this case of the Kevesh to get to this.
I hear. I don't know.
It's Taka Chiddush that has nothing to do with this halakha, but it's a Chiddush.
I hear. Maybe. But I think from the bottom of the Amud, we'll see that maybe that's why it's saying the Ma'aser of Gamliel. But let's see. Torah about a Nachri shalikat asavim. So a Nachri that gathered grass, Michael Achar of Yisrael, then a Yid can take his, meaning the guy cut the grass in order to feed his animals. So a Yid can go after that and take it. Vim b'shvil Yisrael aser. But if he does it on behalf of the Yisrael, so that's aser. Mila mayim hashkes behemtoi mashka achar of Yisrael. Right? He fills up water to feed his behemah. Then the Yid can take it afterwards. Vim b'shvil Yisrael aser. But that's all. This is an important disclaimer. This is all talking about where he doesn't recognize the Yid. Aval makiroi aser. But if he recognizes him, then it's going to be aser. Meaning, if he sees the Yid standing by the water twiddling his thumbs, right? So then we're afraid that he's doing it really on behalf of the Yid. So that's a problem. Eini, it's not true. A person can put his behem on top of the grass on Shabbos, right? He wants to put it right for them to eat. And what's the problem? Because who cares? It's the animals doing it. But he can't put it on muktza grass that's on Shabbos, because that grass was already, meaning if the grass was picked on Shabbos already, then you're not allowed to do it. Right? So it's a stira. Here we just got finished saying that if the guy picked the grass, you are allowed to feed it to the animal. So when it answers the Gamliel ba'apa va'azli va'achla, it's not talking about where he put the animal there. He stood in front of the animal, and Memela, since the animal did it on his own, so it has nothing to do with him. I just have to switch my batteries. Dying. Hold on a second.
Make sure you unmute yourself, Tzvi
Thank you. Sorry about that. Where is it? Yes, Amar Ma. That's what talking about where you didn't recognize him. Makiroi also. Oh, Rabbi Gamliel Makiroi Hava. Rabbi Gamliel was clearly, he knew Rabbi Gamliel, right? This is why I think maybe answers your question, what the chiddush of Rabbi Gamliel. He knew Rabbi Gamliel was on the ship. So Rabbi Shalai before of Hava. No, he did it not in front of him. He wasn't in front of him. He knew he was there, but he didn't do it in front of him. Rabbi Amar, Afilu time in front of him. Ner le'echad, ner le'meya. When you light a candle, that's for 100 people, right? Meaning a candle for one is a candle for 100. So too here, the ramp to go off the ship, you make one ramp for the guy, and then there's unlimited amount of people that could use that ramp. So therefore, that was not a problem. So Meisvei.
Yeah, but then not everyone can use it at the same time. The light, everybody could use at the same time. Does that make a difference?
Okay, so does that make a difference? Does that make a difference? I'm saying, so does it have to be at the same time?
I don't know. But once he uses it, that's it. It's done. But I'm saying the light, everybody could use.
Yeah, but the thing is with the water. Let's say withdrawing the water. So if he recognizes the yid, so we're afraid that he's going to do it on behalf of the yid, or he's going to take more water on behalf of the yid, right? Here, when he makes the ramp, he made the ramp. The ramp is made, right? Who cares how many people will benefit from it?
Why are we so concerned about what a Nachri does for a yid on Shabbos? If we didn't tell him to do something, what's the difference? So it's a Gezeira d'Rabbanon. So really what you're asking, I think, is why is it not a Gezeira to a Gezeira, right? It's a Gezeira d'Rabbanon that we're afraid the guy's going to do it on our behalf. So what? Right? You're right. What do you mean, so what? Because a guy is not allowed to do work on behalf of a yid. Yeah, but a guy's not allowed to do work on behalf of a yid if we ask him to do it. No, he's not allowed to do it even if he does it on his own. We're not allowed to benefit from it. No, but that's now with this Gezerah. This is a third Gezerah on top of that. He's doing it even. Here's a third Gezerah on top of that where we're saying he's doing it. He seemingly is doing it for himself, but since there's a yid around, we're afraid that he's doing it for the yid. That's a third. That's on top of that. No, but I'm saying, so then what are the three levels of Gezeras here? Because again, who cares if there's no actual Maisel whatsoever, with the exception of the machshava of a goy, right? To do something for a Jew, right? On Shabbos, right? So what difference does it make? So what's the first Gezerah, second Gezerah, third Gezerah? Maybe I'm losing. No, if the first Gezerah is that you're not allowed to ask a guy to do anything for you. Okay. Second Gezerah. Wait. So we haven't asked him to do anything. So that's already knocked it out. Fine. Correct. What's the second one? Second Gezerah is that you're not allowed to benefit from a guy doing work for you, even if he does it on his own. But he's not doing. I hear. Right. That's the thing. And then we're making this Gezerah that we're afraid that if you're around, we're afraid that he's doing it on your behalf. But that second Gezerah then, wouldn't that be negated by kind of the first one? Meaning, like, who cares what someone else does, right? Like, even if... so it was a Gezerah because we were afraid. We were afraid for the covet of Shabbos, that's all. That's what it is. We're afraid of the covet of Shabbos. As it is, even with these Gezerahs, we have a problem with going doing Melacha for Yidden on Shabbos. Imagine what it would be without these Gezerahs. But you're right. It is a Gezerah to a Gezerah for sure.
Simon, sorry we didn't tell you this before you became a BT. I apologize.
I fit in Shayashav just fine then.
Okay. What does Makira mean? Simply to recognize, or he has some kind of relationship?
So that's also debatable, right? That's debatable. Does it mean they have to have a relationship? Right?
I would imagine, yes.
I'm not so sure. What happens if a guy's standing by the well and the guy says, hey, you need some help? Or he doesn't say it. You can't answer, I'm sorry. He thinks to his head, this guy if he knows the halachas of Shabbos, he says, this guy's a Jew, he can't do anything, so let me help him out.
If he knows the halachas. If he doesn't know the halachas, he's still a nice guy. There are many nice guys who'll do it for anyone else. He didn't do it for a year. He did it for another person.
Or what if it's your job? What if it's your job? Like he manages the well or whatever.
Right. So then he's working for himself. There he's working for himself. So, but it's not simple.
Isn't that even more problematic than a guy saying, "Hey, I should do a nice thing for this Jew"?
Lav dafka. It could be it's less problematic because he's doing it for himself, not for you.
Didn't we just say last night though, like someone coming to clean your house or doing the like a landscaper, right? They have routes. They do certain routes at certain times.
No, because there's special gezerah in a yid's property, no work could be done.
Oh my gosh, we do so. We do it to ourselves, You're
right, Simon. You're right. What should I do? I can't deny that. I can't deny it. Anyways, okay, weiter. So Meisvei, Omer Len Rabbi Gamliel, Hayol v'shalei b'fneinu so nerried by. Right. So Rabbi Gamliel had said, now this is like in addition to this to the Mishnah, in addition to the story. So Rabbi Gamliel says, Hayol, since he's not in front of us, right? No, nerried by. Since he built the what do you call it? The ramp. Not in front of us, so let's go down. So let's change it. Doesn't mean since he didn't make it, right? He's saying since it was already made, then let us go down. Right? Meaning we thought before, right? Since it's that he made it not in front of us. That's not what he said. He meant so since it was just made. He left out the word in front of us. Okay? Okay, so I don't know if that's the Gemara adjusting the Brisa. I don't know exactly how that works. Right? So Toshima. If you have a city that's full of Yidden and Goyim, and you have a bathhouse, that was bathed on where people go to it on Shabbos. If it's Roiv Goyim in the city, you're allowed to wash in that right after Shabbos. You're allowed to wash because we're going to assume that the reason why they heated up the water on Shabbos was for Goyim because it's Roiv Goyim. In Roiv Yisrael, but if it's a city that's mostly Yidden, you have to wait enough time that the hot water will get heated up. So let's say it takes a half hour for the boiler to get going. So that's how long you'd have to wait to take your hot shower in this merchus, right? So the Gemara says, Gemara answers, Hasam ki mechami atayta deruba mechami. No, there. So what I'm saying. So what's the question, right? So you see where it's Roiv Yidin, you're not allowed to, even though the guy did it for himself. So we say no, Hasam ki mechami atayta deruba mechami. Then the assumption is that he's doing it for the people that Roiv, and since it's Roiv Yidin, then that we're going to automatically assume that the guy did it on behalf of a Yid. Right? Toshima, Nera Dolik b'Masiba. If there was a Ner that was lit in a Masiba, in Roiv Nachrim, meaning of at a gathering, if it's Roiv Nachrim, Mutter l'shtamish loyder, then it's Mutter to be mishtamish to the Or. In Roiv Yisrael, Asur. If it's Roiv Yisrael, it's Asur. Mechza, Asur. If it's half and half, then it's Asur. So there you see also, same question we just had. You see that when it's Roiv Yisrael, we have to be chayshah that he's doing it on behalf of the Yidden. Right?
Is this the problem post Pesach when we have to wait and then they sell the chametz and stuff like that? But
that's a different thing. That's just to wait for it to get brought back, right? That's just for it to get brought back, right? What would be the most common application of this whole thing is if you're in a hotel that has a bunch of Yidden. And, they make hot water, the hotels that give you coffee and tea, right? So if you have a decent amount of Yidden there, then you have to start being concerned that the guy in his head, the reason why he had in mind to put up the hot water Shabbos morning is for the Yidden, right? So then it could be a shtickle problem, right? Anyway, so going into Hasam Namiki, Adlik, Adaited, the Ruba Madlik, he lit it on the Das of Roiv. Fine. Shmuel, Ikla, the Bay Aventurin. He went to Aventurin. Also, Nachri Adlik Sharga, and then a guy came and lit up a fire, a light. Adrinu Shmuel La Peso, because Shmuel was concerned that the guy lit it up for himself, so he turned his face. Given the Chazah, the icy star, the Kakari, since he saw the guy come and read a star, and he was reading it, Amar Atayta de Nafshehu Adlik. The guy must have turned on the light for himself. So then he turned his face towards using the candle. right? So the same story basically. As long as you can ascertain that the guy did it for himself, then you're allowed to benefit from it, right?
What was Shmuel doing?
What was he doing?
I mean, there was still Torah Shabbal Peh in his day.
Right. I mean, what was he reading?
He wasn't even reading. He was just turned away, so he shouldn't have the light, the cloud.
I guess, yeah. Maybe he was eating.
Wow.
And he didn't want to. Maybe he was eating. Yeah. Okay. Hadron Allah Kol Kisvei. Now this next Perek is pretty much all about Hilchos Muktza. So it's actually an important Perek. So Zok the Mishna. Kol HaKelim Nidlim b'Shabbos, but that's the same one. All Kelim can be carried on Shabbos, and the doors of the Kelim with them. Afal Bishan Esparku, even though they became detached. Shein and Diamond, the Daltas Abai, is that they're not similar to the wall doors of a house, the Vishainim and a Muchan, because those are not Muchan. Meaning, when you have a, let's say, I don't know what, a soda bottle, right? So a soda bottle has a cap. Let's assume that that's well, I don't know. What has a door to it? What kli has something has a door?
Is this like your shirt button that comes off?
See, that's also not meant to come off, I would think. Let's say a bowl.
Also
with
not
let's say a bowl, right? So let's say a bowl with a cover on it. So it's meant to have the cover on it, but the cover comes off. That's not muktza because that's meant to happen. But what happens if your door comes off on Shabbos? So your door is not meant to come off on Shabbos. If it came off on Shabbos, then it's a problem because it's muktza, right? It was not min hamuchan. Right, this is the famous one that you're allowed to take a cornice, a hammer, to break open the walnuts. And you can take an axe in order to cut up a how do you call it? A thing of figs. What's the word? Not a bed.
A wheel.
A cake.
A wheel.
Thank you. Right, a wheel or a cake of figs. Megera logerba sagvina. And a saw to saw of cheese. Magrefa ligrifa is a groigris, and a magrefa is also some type of a scraper in order to take a groigris as a dried fig. It's a reches. There's a malgais, losis a love cotton, and yes, a reches is a how do you call it reches? Pitchfork. No, a reches is a pitchfork.
A reches is a winnow.
Malgis is a pitchfork.
Malgis is a pitchfork. I always thought reches was a pitchfork.
Reches says it's a winnowing shovel.
Okay, so that's lases olav lekotten. So what you do is you pass food to to a kid with it. It's a kush, it's a karkar. Those are types of needles. Litchayboy, that's to stick it into food. Machat shel yad, what's the machat yad? A needle. Of yad little boy is the coach to take out a tweezer, not a tweezer. Take out what are you doing?
Splinter.
A splinter. Thank you. And a needle made from people that make sacks, which is a much bigger needle. That's to use it to open up a door. Whatever it is, these are all
Mishna.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Is this Mishna Raya that you don't have to wait 6 hours after hard cheese?
Why are you saying that?
Why would you saw cheese on Shabbos?
Maybe for the
kiddush.
Maybe for the kiddush.
Then if you eat it, you can't have the suda.
It's a summer Shabbos. It's for Shabbos Shuddis on the summer Shabbos.
Oh, okay. I hear.
Then you can't have a fleishig malav malka.
Maybe the Dutch. Maybe the Dutch.
Yeah, maybe for the Dutch. There you go.
It's a rough life, Gershon.
Anyways, but the point of the Mishnah is that these are all classic examples of taking something that's muktza, right, and using it for something that's mutter, right? That's called the klisha malachti le'iser, and you're allowed to use it for guf and mekar, which we're going to discuss in the Gemara. So it says the Gemara, kol kelim nitin, all kelim can be taken, b'apishin esparku b'Shabbos, and even if they became detached on Shabbos, and I don't need to tell you that if it became detached during the week, so of course it's not muktza because you already saw that it was detached in the week and you had in mind to use it. The Gemara says, Adarav, b'Shabbos muchanan al gabi avian. On Shabbos, they're considered muchan, prepared through their avian, meaning the door of the kli is not muktza because you plan on using the kli, so it piggybacks on the kli itself. But b'chol ein muchanan al gabi avian. But if it's during the week, it's not muchen al gav avian. So maybe it should be worse if it came off during the week. So Amar Abaya, Achi Kamar, Kol HaKelim Nitlim B'Shabbos, without saying anyone, Afal Pishin Esparku B'Chol Nitlim B'Shabbos. Abaya says, no, this is what it means to say. All kelim can be taken on Shabbos and the wall and the doors with them, even though it became detached during the week, it could still be taken on Shabbos. Fine. Torah Abaran, Delas Shel Shida V'Shel Teva V'Shel Migdal. So if you have a delas of different types of boxes, right? Noitlin, you're allowed to take it. Avaloi Machzirin, you're allowed to take off the door, but you're not allowed to put it back. V'Shalul Shotana Goylim, but if it's made from, if it's for a chicken coop, Loi Noitlin, V'Loi Machzirin, you can't take off the door and you can't put it back. So Bishlam Shalul Shotana Goylim. So I understand why you're not allowed to take off or put back the door of a chicken coop, because since it's attached to the ground, right? The fence going around the chicken coop is attached to the ground. Yesh binyan bekarka. So by you putting on the door, you're considered bayna bekarka because it's all attached to the ground. And yesh stira bekarka, and there's also stira bekarka, taking something down. Those are just boxes that are not attached to the ground. Microsover. So what does he hold? Ecosover yesh binyan bekalim, yesh stira bekalim. If he says that there's such a thing as building and destruction of kalim, of utensils, be ain't stira bekalim, ain't binyan bekalim, right? I read that wrong. If you hold that there's binyan, so then there's stira. Be ain't stira bekalim, ain't binyan. So how come you could take it off, but you can't put it back? Meaning they should go hand in hand. So Rabbi Elohim Kasavar yesh binyan bekalim, yesh stira bekalim. He really holds that there's binyan and kalim, and there's even destruction on kalim. V'shenitul kamer, and it's talking about if it was taken off, not that you are allowed to take it. If it was taken off, then you could use it. Amarle Rabba shtei chuvas b'davar. There's two chuvas, meaning really chuvas means answers, but we had this a bunch of blad ago, but here it means questions. Chada, the nitlin katani doesn't say nitlu, it says nitlin. My avaloi machsin. What's but you can't put it back? It doesn't make sense if it's just that if it was taken off. So why are you saying but you're not allowed to put it back? Mashma that you are allowed to take it, but you're not allowed to put it back. Ela marova kasavar ain't binyan bekalim, ain't stira bekalim. There's no binyan by kalim and there's no stira by kalim. Ugzeira shema yiska. There's a gzeira because we're afraid that if we're going to allow you to take off the door or to put back the door, then we're afraid that you're going to wedge it in there, which is something more permanent. Okay, this is an important halacha because based on can somebody whose glasses fell off, right? Now, does the arm of the glasses become muktza? So many poskim say it does become muktza, and the Shulchan Aruch does paskin that it becomes muktza because we're afraid if we're going to let you even just put it in there and just let it sit there, we're afraid gezerah shema yiska. So you're going to put it in there. So therefore they made it muktza. So a lot of these things you have to know it's complicated. When we say this gezerah shema yiska, when we don't, some poskim say, well, if you don't have a screwdriver in order to get it in, so then it's not such an issue, right? And then also with the binyan in the house, right, we're saying that you're not allowed to take off the door or put back the door of the chicken coop because it's attached to the ground. The most common application I find with that is what happens if you have those water filters in New York City water, not negated to you, Simon, right? You have the New York City water bugs issue, right? So what happens if your filter, if it stops filtering on Shabbos, can you replace the filter? The problem is that, yes, the cap is meant to come off and on, but maybe it's attached to the sink, which is attached to the house, so it might be considered binyan on a house. Okay, fine.
What's it called though? You can't. Can you
What?
open and close a chicken? Is there an issue opening and closing a chicken coop on Shabbos?
Yes, it's trapping for sure.
Even if what if they have other ways to get in and out?
I'll say then maybe not. Then maybe it's not an issue.
Wouldn't unscrewing and screwing on the cap of a filter, wouldn't that be makif patish then?
That could be true. That's also possible.
Can you trap them to protect them from, like, let's say wolves or something?
Not so simple. Not so simple at all, Meir. Not simple at all.
What about the drain, the sink drain, the strainer in the drain? Can you click that back in, or is that binder?
Oh, I don't know. That's binder.
That's binder. Wow.
That's what I would think. That's what I would think. Yeah.
Well, it's also a borer.
All right.
Right?
you're using it, right?
What? Say it again.
That's if you're going to use it. Depends why you're straining. It's usually bad from bad, right? Right. To use a strainer of the sink. So you don't care about anything there. If you're using it to save the good, then it would be a problem.
Right.
Right.
All right. All right. I get the knock.
All right. Have yourselves a good night.
That's a quick shout out from us.
Try. I got people coming.
Shalom Aleichem. Sorry for making it meshuggah.
You can't make somebody meshuggah. Ain't this a chalalis? Parents will be rolling in over here. Right? Yeah.